everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. I have Kieran. Kieran? Did I get close? Okay, yay!
Yes,
In the
got
studio
it.
today, but you might know him as Csimsproductions. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited for this. This is like the first time I've done something like this, so I feel very excited. I'm so happy that you got me to do this.
Yes, no, thank you so much for being here today. I thank you so much for casting me. You have no idea. I just felt so honored. Like it was just this role was like given to me, and I didn't have to audition and go through all the steps. It was just so nice.
This is like the first time I've never opened auditions for like a Machinima series because I had one before called
Mhm.
Eastvale, and then my computer broke before I could release the first episode. So, and then when I got my computer back, I lost quite a lot of the files that I needed
Yeah.
for it. So I was like, you know what, let's just cancel it, start fresh. So it's like most of the cast is from Eastvale, and then I've got some new people that I've not worked with before, you included. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. I definitely want to jump in, but before we talk about your new project, I want to hear a little bit about yourself and your Sims history.
So basically, I used to do machinimas back like 3, 4 years ago. I had but I think I only had two projects. One of them was like a murder mystery, and it was my first ever machinima project, so it was rough. The first episode didn't have a script. I just emailed the voice actors. I was like, "Here's some lines you could possibly say, just and I'll just work out." And then by the fifth episode, I was like, "This is not good." I like it all like in my mind. I was like, "Wait, I've just made a bunch of hot messes. This is let's cancel this." And then my other project, it was quite similar to the one I'm doing now. It's called
Mhm.
City Limits, and it's basically the same as what I'm doing now, but just a lot worse and a lot less prepared. So yeah. And then I had like a technical issue, and then I school was getting a bit
Mhm.
like hectic. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop. And then I came back around the start of last year, and now I'm here.
Well, there you go. So your first Shinma that you made like 3 or 4 years ago, did you make that in Sims 4, or have you
Yeah.
made in like other, have you played any other rendition of The Sims, or have you just only played Sims 4?
Machinima wise, I've only used The Sims 4 because
Okay.
that's the game I've like dabbled in the other games like just for like gameplay, but
Mhm.
Sims 4 is the one I'm most used to. So I've always just resorted to The Sims 4. I've always liked do like Sims 2, but I'm so used to Sims 4. I'm like I don't want to stray away from something that I've not learned yet. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. The reason I like to ask this is because I've interviewed a couple machinima creators now, and they're 50-50. Some really like Sims 4, some really like Sims 2. I
mhm.
always like to ask to see like if you started with Sims 2 and then work your way to Sims 4, because like Sims 2 is rough. Sims 4 is pretty, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's
I've only I've only started playing The Sims just maybe a year or two after The Sims 4 came out. And
okay.
then I think about 2 years after that I started like very first doing like machinimas and all that. But I have played like Sims 2 and 3 before, but I could never make machinimas in there. It's just too different from how I could do it in The Sims 4. So
Hey, I mean, you're better off than me. I'm 28 years old and I don't even know how to even start with a machinima. I don't even know what to do. Like, I have like no idea. I've had people ask me. I have a sim story, like an
mhm.
Instagram one,
Yeah.
and people have asked me if I would ever turn it into a machinima, and I put good thought into it. I really
Yeah.
did, because I've been in. Actually, I did an acting resume this week because I was like, you know what? Let's just put down every. I've been in like 15 credited roles. And I was just like,
Ooh.
Jesus. And that's under a year too. So I'm like, let's go. I'm can I say I'm an acting whore. I will take a lot. I was literally this is embarrassing. We'll get back to the real story. So I got casted as an extra. I got casted as prostitute number 2. I was like, yes.
I stub roll.
Yeah,
I love that.
I have been practicing my whole life for this.
Your whole life is led up to that moment when you get cast as
Exactly.
prostitute number 4.
Yeah, so it came out and I watched because I will watch my part, right? I love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And my fiance will
Yeah.
watch it with me because he's very supportive and tolerates every
Awesome.
decision I make. And he's like, is that you? Are you giving a blowjob? And I'm like, yup, that is me.
I love that. Oh, geez. I love that. That's amazing.
Right? Oh, I don't care what. I don't care if I have one. I had another one where it was like, I just had to scream, get out. And I'm like, perfect. One line. Let's
Beautiful.
go. But no, I like to talk to machinima creators because like everybody has their own different story and how they get to them. So my question to you is, you started off machinima making so young. Is that something that you think you'll carry on with for the rest of your life? Is that something you want to go to school for?
It's always something that I've like wanted to do sort of as a hobby outside of like school. Like I want to go into filmmaking. So like actual like sort of live action stuff. But since machinima has always been like really fascinating to me, like I was one of those people that would stay up until like 1 a.m. and watch the Sims 3 teen pregnancy, birth to death machinimas, and I'll always be fascinated about how people could do this. And then when I finally got the game, I was like, oh my God, I can do this now. So, but yeah, it's always something I'm gonna like have fun doing as like a sort of hobby on the side, and then filmmaking as like my career.
No, that's awesome. Have you heard about the Plum Bob Awards yet at all? Like, do you know anything about them?
Yes, I have been made aware of them. I have like seen some of the stuff like that goes on with them. I've not actually like participated in any of their seasons yet, but something I plan on doing. So
yeah, no, absolutely. I didn't know what they were until last year. I've only been doing as I have a frog in my throat. I've only been doing this for actually Stassi turns 1 on Tuesday.
Oh, how exciting!
I know.
Oh, I love that.
I know. Isn't that, I know, my alter ego. But so she turns 1. I didn't know what machinimas were until March. I was getting interviewed. I had just passed like 1,500 subscribers followers on Instagram. I had only been doing it for a couple of months. People are like, who's this person? I want to get to talk to her and get to know her. And I was sitting and I was the second guest, and the first guest was a machinima creator. So I sat and I listened to her machinima, and she talked about it for like 2 hours. And I was like, what is this? I have like no idea. I didn't know anything. And they were asking me questions like, who's like, Stassi, like, who's your favorite machinima creator? Like, what's your favorite ones? And I was like, I have never heard of these before. I will have to do research. How have you never heard of these before? It's a part of the community. I'm like, I'm very new to this. Clearly, I don't know what machinimas are. And then I fell in love with machinimas, and then I got casted in a bunch of them, and now I work for the Machinima magazine. So I see tons of machinimas coming through. Yeah, I'm one of the writers. And,
that's so cool.
Yeah, and I mostly just do the interviews, but yes, and sometimes I help them with marketing because that's my real job is marketing. So yeah. So, anyways, machinimas are awesome. What is your favorite type of machinima to create?
I love to do series, like voiceover series, because my ideas just are too big just to contain into one movie. So I have to make series and voiceovers, because I think the subtitle series are like all really cool, but I can't concentrate on looking at the subtitles, and then I'll lose focus on what's actually going on. And then so for me, like listening to the voices is just easier for my concentration. So yeah.
Oh, I totally agree with you. So I'm dyslexic, so I'm not sure if you know what it is. It's for anyone who does not share. It's a hard time reading. I cannot do anything with subtitles. It's very hard because I'm sitting there and my brain is trying to understand what I'm reading. Because I can read a passage without there's no context to it to me. My brain's like, what did you just read? It doesn't stick. So my fiance will actually read subtitles out to me. when we're sitting and
Okay.
watching something. It's so nice of him to do that.
I know I love that.
Right. Because he wants me to be able to enjoy it. He knows I just can't understand it. But yeah, no, I totally agree. If I was to ever do a machinima, I would turn it
It would
into
have to be voice actors.
have to
Also,
be voice
there's so many talented voice actors out there that I want them to be seen. I want to use their talent.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially when they do it for free, I appreciate that so much because like I always expect them to like only do paid stuff. So like when they say they'll do it for free, I'm just like, oh my God, this is great. This is amazing. I need to use you. Like I need to use your talent. I need to showcase it to everyone.
No, absolutely. I've had paid acting jobs. I've had free acting jobs. It comes down to it, right? Like if you can get paid for it, it's nice. But hey, I don't mind helping out directors and creators that are just trying to get started out there.
If I had money to like, if I had the amount of money to like pay all my voice actors, I totally would because I feel like that's what they deserve. But also, I am broke, so it's just gonna have to be free voice acting for now.
No, of course. I totally get you. Like it's the same way. Like I'm a young adult, I'm a young professional, I work in marketing, and people must assume that I have millions of dollars to throw around. I love it all the time. I just had some guy message me on Instagram a couple days ago being like, hey, like, do you think you can send me like $20? I was like, do you think you can send me 25? Because then I'll send you 20. And he blocked me and reported me. I'm like, okay. I mean, you wanted money, like, there you go. No, hey, I totally get you. I think this is perfect time. So let's talk about your new project. So tell me all about it.
So basically, as I said before, I had a project called City Limits, which is basically it took place in Samaishuno, the world in Sims 4, like the city world. And it was just about rich people being messy and so much drama between rich people and the poor people. And it was kind of like inspired from shows like Gossip Girl and Elite, which are all about sort of like class issues. And it was all about rich people versus sort of the not so rich people. And basically, once I sort of took a break from machinima, once I came back, I was like, after like ECL got cancelled, I was like trying to think of a new idea to like what should I do next? And I was like, wait, I had a sort of all right idea before. Let's sort of adjust it and make it into a really fun project. And yeah. It used to be called State Limits, but now it's called Super Rich Flies because I really like Frank Ocean's Channel Orange album, and Super Rich Kids is one of my favorite songs. So I was like, you know what, let's just alter the title because obviously it's an adult, it's about adults, it's not about teens or anything. So I was like, I'll just change it. And then that's how I got the name. But yeah.
No, I like that. So I've read the first episode of Super Rich Flies. I really liked it. I definitely want to talk a lot about Alyssa because I don't know what happens in this project. So Alyssa's just become the mayor.
Yes.
No worries. This is not coming out until the first episode comes out. We're not. There's no.
Okay,
spoilers.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No spoilers. Let's get it.
No spoilers. What's Alyssa's motivation like for her to wanting to become mayor?
So she's always been sort of a lead, like she's she's always been a leader. So like her history, like when she was in high school, she was always the class president. She was a very natural born leader. And she's come from like a very rich family, and she has always wanted her being mayor or being sort of having a leadership type role was always like her career goal. And she's always, that's basically why. That's why she wanted to become mayor. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
I love it. I'm very excited to find out what actually happened with Sylvester and Patrick.
Carlos.
Thank
Carlos,
you.
yes.
I was like, Patrick's my brother.
Patrick, yes. Patrick and Dana, the twins.
Yes. I'm really curious to see what's going to, obviously I know the end, but there's like always more to that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's a lot obviously a lot of plot lines I took from the old idea, and
Mhm.
something I always wanted to keep was sort of the sibling
Mhm.
rivalry between Carlos and Sylvester. And that in the original um project I had, they were called Sylvester was called Cooper, and then Carlos was called Ezra. But I also wanted to just change names to have sort of something different and fresh. But yeah, that was always something I wanted to keep because I like playing around with sibling rivalry and sort of the different dynamics you can have with them.
What do you think is a difficult dynamic, siblings or parent and child?
I think more difficult. Did you say
Yeah, more difficult.
more difficult? I think um, I'm going to say parent and child because um, basically, I don't know. I just think with siblings, it's easier to for me to sort of write that sort of catty, like stereotypical sibling, like sort of squabbles and
Mhm.
fights. Because that's always something like I was always into sort of like teen shows, still am, and like a common thing is like sibling squabbles and yeah. So I've always just find it easier to write for siblings than parent and child. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I totally get it. Because I feel like if it's a parent-child dynamic, you're basically just trying to either make the parent proud, but they're too busy to notice. I feel like
Hmm.
that's kind of like the number one, or it's the parent is too overbearing and the child like doesn't really care. Like I think those
Yeah.
are kind of your two. Now I know you said you like teen dramas. Is there any other teen dramas besides Elite and Gossip Girl that you're taking inspiration from for this project?
Um, yeah. There's a case. I know it's kind of controversial,
Sure.
but I'm taking sort of the drama and mystery sort of element from Riverdale and implementing it here. I know Riverdale is a very controversial subject across the world, but I really like the way they can create tension and like always have an aspect of mystery
Oh my
and
gosh,
sort of
yeah.
camp and fun elements in their show. So I wanted to adopt that into um, Super Rich Lies. And also, I was an OG Riverdale fan when season one came out. Stuck by the show, so yeah, I've always had inspiration from Riverdale. And trying to think, there was another one. Elite, Riverdale, and Gossip Girl, sort of my main three inspirations for this. But
No,
yeah,
I love it. So I actually super love Riverdale. So you're not offending me. I
okay,
love
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah, no, I'm an OG fan as well. I've been watching since day one, and I mean this past season was something. Um, yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what to think. It's just chaos,
yeah. Well,
absolute mayhem.
I feel like it's just toddlers writing for the script now because like there's some parts I'm
Mhm.
like, how is this a thing?
Yeah, honestly, I just watch it because I'm so far in. I can't quit now. I need to keep watching.
Right? I said the same thing. So like me and my mom, like we'll pick a show and we'll watch it till the very end, regardless of how bad it is or not. So Riverdale's
Yeah.
our show where we've clipped on. After Rivervale, like I was just
Oh
kind
my
of like,
God, Riverdale. Oh, people. Okay, so people were so like confused. Like something like annoys me about the criticism of Riverdale is that um people will just like criticize it and be like, "This is so weird." Like, remember when it was just a teen show? And I'm like, and it's people that'll like quit after season two, and I'm like, you obviously don't understand the context here, or else you maybe understand a bit more. Like
mhm.
people criticize Rivervale and be like, "Oh my God, like what is this? This is so weird." Like, ew. And I'm like, you clearly don't understand this is like an alternate like reality.
Universe.
Like this is clearly not like actually like happening in Riverdale. Like, but yeah, I actually quite enjoyed, contrary to popular belief, I really enjoyed Riverdale. I kind of liked how it was their way of going full supernatural and full bonkers. And the 100th episode where Jughead like figured out what was going on with the
Yeah.
split parallel universes, I thought that was really cool. Like I've always liked how bonkers they are and how they just own it.
See, I will say, I kind of wish Rivervale was more of Riverdale, and that's kind of like the mystery
Yeah,
aspect they took of it instead of Jingle Jangle, the Gargoyle King,
I
TBK. Yeah, like
Jesus, the names that they come up with on Riverdale and Rivervale just baffle me. Yeah, I wish the show was either always like how season one was, where it was a
Mhm.
contained mystery, or Rivervale, where it's just completely bonkers, like supernatural, like balls to the
Yeah.
walls, like
No,
insane. Because I always liked how camp and like over the top it was.
I totally agree. I really like the double episode in Rivervale. I thought that was a really well done one. You know, the devil
Of the devil,
comes. Yes.
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 Because I really like the episode because I don't know if this is a popular opinion across like Riverdale like fans, but Veronica was never really my favorite. Like I
Mhm.
sort of liked the idea of Veronica. Like I really enjoyed her in season one. She was like one of my favorites in season one, but progressively she just kind of got worse for me. And I think it's because she sort of had the same storyline every season. It was like her against her dad, trying to stop him from ruining Riverdale. But in that episode specifically, she really went up in the rankings of like my favorites because I don't know, I just love how they focused on her and actually gave her something to do that wasn't Hiram related. But
Yeah, no, I think this is how you can define Veronica's character in like one snippet is when they did the trailer for season 5 coming back after their 7-year gap, but it was actually 6 months. Because you know they don't know how to write. They're like, Archie went to the army, and they're like, and then Betty,
said the
agent,
FBI.
Veronica got married.
Yeah, because at the start of the like I think it was season 5, episode 5, at the
Mhm.
start, Jughead was like, so Betty was an FBI agent, Archie's in the army, I'm a writer, and Veronica is married.
Yeah,
And I'm like, great, love it. But
love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because Veronica's actually like an inspiration for sort of the overall aesthetic of Dana from Super Rich Lights. So her overall look is sort of inspired by Veronica, sort of the dark hair, the sort of very dark colors, and sort of very glam, like polished sort of fashion.
I
And
love
also sort of her overall sort of like attitude and aura. So how like Veronica's very like confident. She's very she'll do anything to like
mhm.
get what she wants. She's not afraid to like fight people and just be her. So yeah.
No, I totally agree. When I saw because at first I was like, what does she look like? Because that's something that I usually base my characters off of because a lot of
Mhm.
people they know me now. So
Yeah.
they'll make my person I'm playing blonde because
Hmm.
it kind of oh my gosh fits the personality. Because
Yeah.
if you know me, I'm very like bubbly unless I have a role where
Yeah.
I'm a bitch. So I saw that I was like, oh shit, I have like super dark hair. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the bubblist down and be more
Yeah.
stern. Like for example, like one of my favorite lines from House because I'm a Housewives fan. Um, where the housewife says, "You say stupid shit, I say important shit," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's Dana. She says important shit. Like she's
Yeah.
not there for bullshit, and that's why
Oh,
I liked
yeah.
her."
Data does not mess around. She's and I've finished sort of first copies of the episode 225, which is the season finale. And honestly, Dana is just a menace. I could just that's what I'm gonna say about her now is like she is like a troublemaker. But she's
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters to write for because she's just so like she's just a menace, honestly. I love writing villains. Um
Yes.
I love writing sort of rebellious and mischievous characters because I've always those kind of characters were always my favorite. Everyone like always rooted for the heroes, but I was always like a sort of I was on the side of the villains. So yeah.
I was gonna say, are you a Slytherin? Because I feel like that's a Slytherin answer.
I've always liked to believe that I'm a Slytherin, but people have told me that I'm a Hufflepuff, but
Mm, I can see that.
it just depends.
That's fair. So like my entire life, I'm like, I'm a Gryffindor. I'm a Gryffindor. I was like, can you still? I don't know if you can somewhat see it. There's my Gryffindor
Oh, the
scarf.
scar. I've
There's the
actually
actual
okay.
scarf.
So I've never actually read or like seen the Harry Potter movies, but like I'm sort of well aware of like the different houses. But because like all my friends are like really into Harry Potter, I've just never gotten around to watching
Yeah.
them or like reading the books. But yeah, people have always just been like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely a Hufflepuff." I'm like, Slytherin was always the interesting one to me. I want to be a Slytherin.
Right? Like I always wanted to be a Gryffindor because like we grew up at different times. Like when I was 9, the first one came out. And that was
Mhm.
like the big deal. You're like, oh my
Yeah.
God. Like I want to watch these. And I waited for my letter when I was 11. It never came. So I was Gryffindor, Gryffindor, Gryffindor. So my parents went to the UK, picked
Mhm.
up me. They're like, well, what house do you want? And I said, well, Gryffindor, obviously. And then my fiance whispers to me in my ear, should have been Slytherin when he was very drunk. And I was like, excuse you, I just met you at the time. How dare you say I'm Slytherin? Like, what have I done for you to consider me a Slytherin, not a Gryffindor? As I look back on life, I'm usually the villain in people's
Yeah.
stories. Definitely not a Gryffindor. I'm not the hero. But no, I totally agree. I cannot wait to continue to play Dana. I got a couple more questions for you. I'm going to send you on your way. I like to ask this question to machinima creators. What advice would you give to anybody wanting to start off?
Um, don't expect to have like you don't always have to have at the start. Don't expect like top tier quality like video or like audio because we all have to start from somewhere. Like where I started, my video like was at like 10 frames per second. The editing was rough.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a script. I probably should have, but I started off just not using a script. So like if you're just starting out, don't expect to always have come out with like Netflix or HBO level like type of like filmmaking or TV shows because you have to start from somewhere and you can only go upwards. So
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think that's actually really good advice. I've been doing videos now since like July, and I got my first mic off Amazon, and it was kind of shitty.
mhm.
But now I have it's a blue ice. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. My
Mhm.
advice again, good sound. Spend that extra little bit of money if you can, but
Mhm.
literally go back and watch people's first YouTube videos before they got wealthy, before they got sponsors.
Mhm.
They just have the same stuff that we have, right? You got to start
Yeah.
small, work your way big.
I have my other advice would be patient because I'm quite an impatient person. I want things done yesterday, or else I'm just or it stresses me out. But yeah, with machinimas especially, because like unlike TV shows, they could get out stuff out quicker because they have a whole team of people doing everything at the same time. But
Mhm.
with machinimas, you're only one person. Like you're only one person, and you've got like obviously you've got a group of voice actors. But yeah, be patient because you're not gonna get everything done like within 5 minutes. So yeah, be patient.
Absolutely great advice. So this episode's coming out the first day that Super Ritualized comes out. What is your plan for scheduling? Are you going to drop an episode every couple of weeks? Are you going to drop one once a week or once a month?
Um, I the initial plan is to do it at least, but like very least once a month. If depending what like school
Mhm.
and sort of everything like sort of in real life allows me to, I can maybe try and get maybe 2 a month. But at the moment, it's one a month because obviously I'm in sort of mock exam season, so I don't want to focus too much on trying to get like a bunch of episodes out. So yeah,
No.
once a month
Hey,
at the
absolutely.
minimum.
Hey, people don't understand how much work it goes into making machinimas.
It's
They,
so much. It's very time consuming.
I think I've read an article. I think it's like every 5 minutes is 2 hours of work or something like that. Is that
Oh,
right?
I'm just trying to like put that together in my head. Like every 5 minutes is 2 hours
So
of work.
yeah, so every 5 minutes of finished film takes about 2 hours. Is that
Oh, right. Okay. It took me a while to like put that together. I was like, wait, every 5 minutes, 2 hours. That's okay. That that's mind blowing.
yeah.
To me, that's mind blowing. But also, when making machinimas, it also kind of makes sense because, especially filming in like in The Sims, it can be a
Mm-hmm.
bit of a struggle bus,
Mm-hmm.
especially when your Sims decide that they're just not going to cooperate with you and they're just going to go and speak to a bunch of other random tidies. I'm like, no, I need you to be here.
I need to
Like
be here
I
doing
was
this one thing right
I
now.
was
Fuck.
I was filming a bar scene yesterday, the first scene, which takes place in a bar.
Yes.
Uh, I had like there's like two versions of the scene. The first version is when the lot type is a bar, and there was other townies coming in, and they kept walking in front of the shot. They kept sitting in the stools that I didn't want them to, and then it was just chaos. I was like, I have to just kick them all out and make it a residential lot and just
Mhm.
get this done because these townies are not helping. But yeah,
Oh, I totally agree with you. Before, with Rose Chronicles, I did everything by the book. No CC, no poses, no nothing.
mm,
I literally build sets now on 64 by 64 lots.
yeah,
And I just have people come in, that make them join the family. And then as soon as they're done their scene, they're out and I put the next one in. Like that's
yeah. I
literally the
depending
fastest way.
that's what I do. Depending on what scene I do, I sort of chop and change the families and move them into like the different lots. And it's just because I think some machinima makers they have like sort of stages where they just have a bunch of rooms for different
Mhm.
sets, but I just use a whole building for each set, like like just a regular lot.
Mhm.
I'll download them because I'm not a builder. I cannot build in The Sims to save my life. I have to download them. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know the feeling. I stepped down and said, I'm going to build everything I do in the Rose. Fuck now. I use the gallery all the time.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can't build to save my life. But yeah,
Well, there you go. Well, you know what? I want to say it's been an absolute pleasure.
I don't.
Please.
I've
Sorry.
had so much fun. I've had so
Yes.
much fun doing this.
Again,
This has been great.
thank you so much for casting me again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please go check out the first episode of Super Rich Lies. Links are going to be below. Please follow Sims Productions on Twitter and Instagram. Are you anywhere else?
Um, just Twitter and Instagram for now. Yeah, and YouTube obviously, but
Yes. Perfect. Links are going to be below. It was an absolute pleasure to have you here today. I cannot wait to see how this project unfolds. I would love to have you back at the last episode so we could discuss
yes.
the entire series.
Oh
As
yes.
well, if you're interested, I do have a podcast where I do sit down with machinima creators to talk about their series throughout. So if you're interested in doing that as well, I'm more than happy to, talk about your series with you.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait for the end of series one because that's going to be. Oh, I have so many. Oh, it's going to be great. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm excited again. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a great rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you for having me. This has been great. Yeah, have a great day.
Yes, you too.